Hello, welcome back. I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And we're Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. Today, we're at the Grand Encampment Museum in Encampment, Wyoming. Let's go check it out. Come on.
The Grand Encampment Museum is also known as the GEM, G-E-M, Grand Encampment Museum of Southern Wyoming. We're in the city or the small town of Encampment, Wyoming. This GEM museum has a collection of over a dozen historical buildings, and there's all kinds of artifacts representing the timber, the agriculture, and the mining history of the Encampment Valley at the turn of the 20th century.
The curator here told us that the tower there is closed anytime there's lightning within 40 miles. He said that thing gets struck very often, so if there's any kind of idea of lightning in the area, they close it down. Unfortunately, it's closed today. As you can tell from the shot, it's a pretty overcast day, and we actually have a little bit of rain right now, so we're not going to get to take you up there. Just one reason for you to come and check it out here, Encampment, Wyoming.
Throughout the museum, there are these placards that have the QR codes that you can scan to get information. You can go online and see the history of each building, and also the complex has free Wi-Fi because the cell reception isn't great here. So you can get on their Wi-Fi right here in the museum. Along with the QR code giving information, it's actually part of a complete tour. So each building, you take the tour on your phone. There's even short video clips explaining about the different buildings.
The curator just brought us out here to show us what he said was the biggest attraction at the location that we're at here today. And it's right here behind me. I don't know if you can quite tell what it is, but it is a two-story outhouse. And I had never heard of a two-story outhouse, and he explained to us that in the wintertime here, the snow gets so high that they go up and they'll use the top floor. And then as the snow melts and recedes, they use the bottom floor. And this one was built a little differently. It has the seats that fold up. You can see in the bottom there, the seat is folded up. So that would be ready for wintertime. Because you'd use the top and it would just drop straight down into the bottom area and go that way. Others, he said, that were built were offset like this, so they'd each have their own separate area for the waste to go. This one was built a little bit different. He said this one is a replica, but it was built from memory people that were there, and also of some photographs that they had at the time. So believe it or not, this is the biggest attraction here at this museum. He said they get international visitors here just to come and see this.
This is a tie hack cabin. The tie hack cabin is for what was known as tie hacks, people that would cut ties for the railroad. This was for the Big Creek tie camp. There they would cut the ties, stack them up by the river, and then they would float them down river after the snow melted. And they'd have to go along, of course, to clear any log jams. But this particular cabin, a man named John Anderson lived here as a worker at the tie camp in 1920. And so his family donated this cabin to the museum.
Here at the Grand Encampment Museum, they have a replica tramway. This tramway used to carry ore, copper ore, across the Continental Divide here to the town of Encampment. It was, I believe, 16 or 18 miles long, and at the time it was the longest tramway for ore like that in the world. So I thought that was pretty cool. And as I was talking, the lady in the background said this, so it was 16 miles, not 18 miles.
Here's a stagecoach that is a reproduction built by the inmates of the local penitentiary in Rawlins, and it was given to the museum by Mr. and Mrs. Storer. It's a reproduction of a real stagecoach. Here's a reproduction of a blacksmith building. A blacksmith, also known as a smithy, would make things like horseshoes and wagon wheels, and they had their usual building was big enough to fit a whole covered wagon inside so that they could make repairs. Inside this building, you'll see different tools that the blacksmiths worked with. We are at the Palace Bakery and Ice Cream Parlor. This building was originally in the town of Encampment, and it was around 1900. It was a bakery. When the museum's actually fully open, you can go inside and see all the artifacts that they had and what a bakery looked like in the 1900s.
We're here at the Geo Kunstmann building. It was originally a little farther away in the town of Encampment. They moved it here in 1969 and set it up as a saloon. It was originally built for Mr. Kunstmann as a real estate company. Apparently he sold real estate and stocks and bonds and things like that out of this originally. But it sits here now as a saloon. Also, we're unable right now to go into all these buildings because the museum doesn't actually open until Memorial Day weekend. So if you guys want to come out and check out all the things that are inside these buildings, each building has period stuff in it, which is really cool. Anytime after Memorial Day, I'm not sure when they close, but there is a suggested donation of $5 per person. Suggested donation. It's really cool, guys. You should come and check it out.
The Wolford Schoolhouse was built in 1895, 5 years after Wyoming became a state. It was located about a mile from the town of Encampment. Mr. Wolford had moved here to Wyoming because he had tuberculosis, and his doctors advised him to move to this area, a dry climate, and which today it's raining. But this was the first schoolhouse in the area.
We're here at the Doc Culliton building. Inside here is the office, the little gift shop, and also a bit of a museum. So there's a bunch of cool things in there. We'll probably show you a little bit right about now, but make sure you go in there and check it out. I got a really cool shirt from inside too. to be a, what's it called? Oh, it's a hummingbird.
Oh, there's a hummingbird buzzing me while he's talking. Bloopers.
Yeah. What's it called?
Kunzman?
Yeah, it was originally built for what? I can't remember.
Real estate. I don't know.
Real
Look at
estate
the
guy?
plaque.
Well, that's it from the Grand Encampment Museum. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around to the end. We'll see you next time on
Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. Bye.